What's going on, Colts Nation? Today we're going to be talking about the strengths of this Colts 2020 defense. Now, the biggest strength to me after watching the film over and over again was just how fast our front seven was. Not only could we be physical and change the line of scrimmage with guys like Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner and Danico Autry, but our linebacker core and them guys as well could get sideline to sideline. There's a few slip screens I saw against the Titans where Grover Stewart would make the tackle on the sideline, track Derrick Henry down, which is really impressive. Same thing for DeForest Buckner. He had to track a few people down this year. This team was just really fast and really strong up front and made for a good run-stopping team. And that'll bring me to my second thing, which is just run-stopping in general. We were the second best statistically run-stopping team in the league. We were phenomenal at that. And then the third, last but not least, was gang tackling. We would gang tackle game after game. We were on the same page. We would fly to the ball. This team looked hungry. This defense looked hungry. This is the first time in a long time I've seen this defense look hungry. They looked like they wanted to come out there and bust their ass play after play, and I loved watching it. I absolutely loved watching this defense play all 2020. So without further ado, let's just hop into the film here. I'm going to give a lot of praise to guys like Taekwon Lewis, Taylor Stallworth, Grover Stewart. DeForest Buckner's not going to get a lot of love. He was an all-pro. You know, he's already got his love. Of course, we know how good DeForest Buckner's been. He has been absolutely phenomenal. But this video is kind of aimed at showing you the guys that don't really get a lot of love, and that's guys like Danico Autry over here, Grover Stewart, Taylor Stallworth, Taekwon Lewis, them guys like that. This video is kind of dedicated to them because they were really pivotal in us stopping the run this year. The first play here, we're going to be looking at Grover Stewart. Grover Stewart's going to do a good job of being physical off this ball, eating this double team, changing the line of scrimmage against 77, and then making this tackle in the backfield against Lamar Jackson. Time and time again this season, we saw the same thing here from Grover Stewart. Eating a double team, still changing the line of scrimmage, making a tackle in the backfield. He was absolutely disruptive game after game. Okay, so this next play is going to be Taylor Stallworth. It's going to be just a really phenomenal play from him. Great job of using his outside arm here, or his inside arm, I should say, setting him up, getting leverage against 68, the center, and then coming back over with a swim move and making the tackle in the backfield against Dobbins. I don't think people understand how good Taylor Stallworth was off the bench. He was absolutely fantastic. He was honestly one of my favorite players to watch on the defense when he was in, because his motor is just fantastic. It's like he would make so many plays for just tracking a running back down 3 yards down the field, 3 or 4 gaps over from him. So he's just a fun player to watch. Right here you'll see him just put that great move on number 68. We'll slow it down just to watch it, to get a little bit more there. Notice how he keeps that one arm there, sets him up like he's going forward, and then swims back over. Gets all of his momentum forward and then swims back. That's just an excellent job there from Stallworth of using his body weight against himself. We're using 68's body weight against himself. So next play I have for you guys here, it's going to be week 10 against the Titans. Actually, I have 4 plays against the Titans just because it's the Titans. They have Derrick Henry. You know, who else do you want to watch running the ball? You want to see good run defense versus good run offense. This is the matchup right here. But this is going to be the only play I have where a secondary or a player in our secondary makes a play. And the reason is because it's just Julian Blackman. Julian Blackman did an excellent job this year coming in, filling the role of Malik Hooker, and just being absolutely incredible. He was a ball hawk. He could come up into the box, make a tackle, and he was just excellent all year. Also, I'll give a little bit of credit to Cary Willis as well. Cary Willis didn't miss a tackle all season. He had 0 missed tackles compared to last year where I think he had double digits. So hats off to Cary Willis. Great job from him this season. And also hats off to Julian Blackman for being a really well-rounded, versatile free safety. But on this play right here, we're going to see a really good example of Julian Blackman just spotting where this hole is going to be, and I mean just flying through there and making this tackle on Derrick Henry, a 250-pound running back, just putting him right on the ground. That was an excellent job there from Blackman. We'll see it in full speed just to show you how fast he was. I mean, he just flies through there and makes that tackle. So next play I got for you guys here is going to be a highlight of Taekwon Lewis. If you don't know Taekwon Lewis, he's a second-round pick back in 2018, I believe. So this next year coming up, it's going to be contract year. It's do or die for him. Now, Taekwon Lewis has left a little bit to be desired rushing the passer. Absolutely, he could 110% be better at rushing the passer. But I think he's done a pretty good job being physical on the edge and stopping the run. Like a play right here, he's going to get off the ball, be physical with this tackle, and then make the stop on Derrick Henry a yard in the backfield on the edge. Let's see it. Great job there, using his hands, being physical, and then making that tackle. That's just an excellent job there from Taekwon Lewis. He's a guy I really like. You know, a lot of people like Wilkerson Muhammad. I think Taekwon Lewis is a little bit better of a prospect. I think Muhammad rushes the passes better, or rushes the quarterback better, but I think Taekwon Lewis could be a full package eventually. You know, he's got a good frame, he's physical, he's fast. You know, he's got everything he needs to be a good player. Just can he put it all in to place next season? The next play I got for you guys is another big play from Taekwon Lewis. He had his hand all over this game versus the Titans. You know, 3 or 4 big stops, or a couple in the backfield, and, you know, 3 or 4 tackles in general. You know, Taekwon Lewis really flexed his might against the Titans. Now, keep in mind, his matchup was a second-string tackle, but at the same time, you know, Taekwon Lewis is a young guy. He's got time ahead of him. You know, this is going to be contract year. This is do or die, but I've seen flashes of him be really good this season, so I got a lot of confidence in him next season breaking out. Right here he is on the edge. Does a good job being physical again. Actually beats 2 blockers there. He gets his hands on this tackle, beats this tackle, then gets his hands on this fullback to slow him down, and still makes the tackle in the backfield. That's an excellent job there from Taekwon Lewis. You cannot ask for anything more from your defensive end. Next play I got for you guys here is just an excellent job from Danico Autry. I mean, if you need any kind of proof as to if Danico Autry is physical, right here is your answer. Right here is, here's your question. Is Danico Autry physical? Here's the answer. Watch Danico Autry right here at defensive end. You can also watch DeForest Buckner do a great job against Sappho, getting his inside shoulder and gumming this play up as well. But Danico Autry just is a man amongst boys at times. And watch what he does to this fullback who tries to come across and block him out to allow this running back on a 2nd and 1 to get this first down, which he doesn't get it, keep in mind. Boom, runs right through the fullback, makes the tackle in the backfield. That was just explosion. That was a physical play. I mean, again, what else can you ask for from a defensive end? Now, I understand Danico Autry, just like Taekwon Lewis, you know, there's a little bit to be desired there in passing or in rushing the passer. But for what Danico Autry is paid, you know, 3 years, $6 million, you know, we've got the absolute most out of him. So I was really happy with how Danico Autry played the edge this year. Again, I think we do need a number 1 edge guy, but when it comes to why we were so good at stopping the run, look no further. Now we're going to be moving on to some film versus the Packers. Now the Packers are a very, very good offense. LaFleur has a excellent offensive scheme there. Really good inside zone scheme where short yardage situations, it just quick hits up the middle. It's very well blocked. It's just intended to get, you know, very small amounts of yards. And the reason it works so well is because he has guys like Corey Linsley and Elton Jenkins and Bakhtiari. He has a really good offensive line, 4th best in the league in my opinion. Now, but what happens whenever they got to play against 2 studs in DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart? Well, you can watch. They're going to gun this play up, and their quick hitting inside zones didn't work so well against us, seeing how they had only 66 rushing yards the whole game against us. That was an excellent job there from Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner both, being able to fill their gaps and stop this run for less than a yard. So next play I have for you here is kind of a highlight for Bobby Okereke. I just wanted to show him coming up and hitting a running back because Bobby Okereke hasn't had the best of the season. Now I know he makes big plays, and I know, what he does well, he does very well, which is, stopping the run, being really good in the run game. But his issue is pass defense, and we'll talk about that next video. But this video, we're just talking about our strengths, of course. But watch this whole defense. Watch this whole collapsing of this offensive line, this defensive line, right down into the middle here. They're trying to do another one of them plays I was talking about, them quick hitting inside zone plays. And just watch this whole defense collapse on this play. Watch Bobby Okereke come up and smack number 30, the running back for the Green Bay Packers. Here's Okereke. He's looking for him. Boom. Lowers the shoulder. Absolutely turns him backwards. That's a great hit there from Okereke. And that was something that he's done all season. Stopping the run from last year to this year, he has definitely became stronger. He became faster. The only thing, in my opinion, he needs to work on is just his ability to, or his zone defense. Because in a Tampa 2, if you're the middle linebacker, you have a lot of responsibilities. I'm not going to explain a Tampa 2 to you, but trust me, as a middle linebacker in a Tampa 2, you have a lot on your plate. And he's going to have to shore some things up if he wants to remain starter in that position. But great job there from him. Just another great example of this defense being proactive against one of the best run blocking teams in the league, just completely collapsing on their inside zone play. The last two plays I have for you guys are going to come against the Raiders. And the reason I picked the Raiders is because they have an excellent offensive line. Now, they don't have a Richie Incognito, but they do have a top 5 center, and they do have a Trent Brown at right tackle who's very talented. And a great coach in Gruden who has a really good offense. So they know what plays to run. They know how to attack a defense. This is just a good offense overall. If you don't believe me, they led the league in third down conversions, which should tell you a couple things, which is really efficient. They know what plays will work against pretty much every defense they play. So this is a good offense. The biggest issue with the Raiders this year, of course, was their defense. But we're not talking about that. The first play here, we're going to see a great example of what I was talking about when I say this team gang tackles. Now watch. As soon as they snap this ball, every player on this team is flowing. And at this point, this play is blown up. They tried to leave Darren Waller in a one-on-one with Darius Leonard, and he makes the play. But look how many hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hats already there around Josh Jacobs, ready to make this tackle, just flying to the ball. This team was proactive, like I was talking about. They were fast. They were ready to play game after game, and especially against the Raiders, where they made multiple big plays. The last play I got for you guys, and this is going to be maybe the best one we've seen all year. It's the best example of what made this defense so good. There's just multiple working parts on this play. Taekwon Lewis over here at defensive end doing a great job working against these two guys. Grover Stewart doing a great job against Rodney Hudson of getting penetration, throwing Josh Jacobs off of his where he wants to run and allowing Taekwon Lewis to catch him. But let's focus on Taekwon Lewis for a second. A lot of people, there's like this growing stipulation that Taekwon Lewis is just unsavable. He's not a good player, and I don't agree with that. And I'm going to show you why. Now watch Taekwon Lewis. He's going to get off the ball. What's he do? Take a good step, and he's going to get hands on 66 initially, just to throw 66 off his route to the linebacker. That's a good job. You want to disrupt that guard from first to second level as a defensive end. You do not want to let that guy move fluently to the second level. So once he's done that, thrown 66 off his path here, he beats 77 Trent Brown. Grover Stewart doing a good job, like I said, disrupting. And that allows Taekwon Lewis to catch Josh Jacobs. That is just an excellent job from these two guys disrupting this play. That's something our interior defensive line did all year. Just disrupt, disrupt, disrupt. And again, if you look at the statistics, they don't lie. Number 2 in the league for a reason. We were excellent all year. But that's all the film I got for you guys. I'll talk about this team a little bit just to sum up my opinions. just a little bit for you guys. Now again, when I talked about the strengths, of course the front seven was really good. Of course gang tackling was good. Of course us stopping the run was really good. But there's a few other guys that deserve a little credit. Cary Willis didn't miss a tackle all season when he had double digits last year. Julian Blackman was absolutely fantastic coming in off the bench after thinking, he tore his ACL his senior year, last game of the season. I don't think Ballard expected to he didn't want to start him this year. But Malik Hooker went down, of course, next man up. He came in, he did a great job. And I'm really excited to see how good Julian Blackman will be in the years coming. But as well, one more guy who no one thought would be good, who everyone counted out, who had no expectation to be great from any other team but ours, and that is Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Rhodes did a fantastic job this year. I was so happy to see him revitalize his career. Just in the way he did it. He was injured all last season. He didn't look good on the field at all. He came into the Colts locker room. He got in shape. He got healthy, and he came out this year and had and led the league in quarterback QBR. So hats off to Xavier Rhodes. He had a great season. Hats off to Kenny Moore as well. Hats off to Cary Willis. Hats off to Julian Blackman. And hats off to all the guys I showed you in here, because everyone played a pivotal role in us being a good defense this year. The best I've seen it in quite some time. But that's all I got for you guys. If you're still here, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you listening. If you like the content, drop a like, drop a subscribe. But until next time, guys, peace.